Hey there, YouTube world. Welcome back to my channel. If you're checking in for the first time, thanks for joining us. And if you're a repeat viewer, thanks for stopping in again. Today, got a product I want to show you. I picked up while I was on my vacation in Seattle, Washington. Neighboring town Edmonds, Washington, has a place called the World of Collections, Games, Comics, and Cards. Not a lot of vintage stuff there, but they had just they bought a entire collection of wax boxes from somebody. I happened to catch it on the right day. You can see the name and address of this place in your screen. And what I did buy was this 1988 Topps Major League Leaders super glossy baseball cards. They had a box of these. I don't know. They were probably overpaid for this a little bit. I think they charged me $10, something like that. Another set of cards I hadn't seen before, and just kind of wanted to see. And not so much for monetary value, but it's fun to see cards you've never seen before. So there's 77 cards to complete the set. It says there's 36 count cards in here. I don't know if that means there's 36 packs. It doesn't say how many cards are in the pack. So I'm gonna pre-apologize for knocking over the camera. I will probably end up doing that. So we'll rip these open. We'll see if I rip them all open. I kind of like my videos to stay under 20 minutes. No, this is definitely 36 packs. That is a lot of packs. 7 cards in each pack. 36 packs. Who's good at math? 7 times 36 is, it's more than I can do in my head. You should be able to easily complete a set with 1 box of cards. My one fear of these, so these are kind of small, little guys. Just did top is big, and those are big, obviously. And these are big, so are small, I should say. So I have no idea. I don't even know if there's a valuable card in these. My one fear is that they're glossy, and older glossy cards tend to be sticky. So hopefully these are really tiny. These are awesome. Yeah, my hands aren't that big. Let's see if we can get this nice and pulled in. There we go. There's Jimmy Key. Here's what the back of the cards look like. Pretty cool. Actually, they're really cool. I like these. Oh, I'm glad I got them. Jose Canseco. Good old Jeff Reardon. When my Twinkies were nearly invincible. Andres Galarraga. There's a win a trip to the 1989 spring training. That would be fun to go back to, wouldn't it? If we could really do that. Mr. Charlie Huff. The man's been old since the day he was born. Wade Boggs. Phil Bradley for the first pack. These are cool, and they're not sticky. The backs are not glossy, just the fronts. So that probably kept them from sticking together. Howard Johnson. Teddy Higuera. Willie McGee. Kevin Seitzer. Game piece. Dave Parker. Tony Gwynn. Steve Bedrosian. What is Canseco's rookie card? That has got to be a early card for Canseco. Now I can't remember what year his rookie is. I'm totally drawing a blank. I know the Fleer one was kind of the bigger chase card. Andres Galarraga. Jeez, I can't. Rick Russell. Nolan Ryan, nice. Eric Davis, that was a big chase card back in the day. Mike Schmidt. Oral Hershiser. George Taco Bell. Remember Chris Berman used to always say that? These don't open too bad. They're wrapped like wax, but they're cellophane. I have no idea if there's any real good cards in these or not. Jeff Reardon again. Andres Galarraga, third time. Rick Russell again. Tim Wallach. Dwight Evans. Willie Wilson. Nice! Kirby Puckett. Kirby Puckett's probably one of my favorite players ever. Rest in peace, Kirby Puckett. Not only did his career end while he was too young, but he ended too young. Dave Rigetti. Kevin Seitzer again. Jimmy Key again. Jose Canseco. So this must be, so these are his 87 stats. He's got at least 2.5 seasons of games there, approximately. Brian Downing. Wally Joyner, he was a hot card for a while. Willie Randolph. Very good player. I don't know, is Willie in the Hall of Fame? I don't know if he quite had the stats for Hall of Fame or not. And I can't remember. I usually try to peruse through the Hall of Fame inductees. Holy mackerel. Is there any Kevin Seitzer fans? You pay me shipping, I will send you some Kevin Seitzer cards. Jimmy Key. Jose Canseco again. Jeff Reardon. Harold Reynolds. He's a Hall of Famer, I think. Dwight Gooden. And Fernando Valenzuela. Always, speaking of these two were two of the best hitting pitchers for a long time. I believe Dwight Gooden could have been drafted as a hitter or a position player if he wasn't drafted as a pitcher. I seem to remember he had some really good batting stats in whether AAA, high school, or whatever. He came in the league pretty young. Good old Ricky Henderson with the Yankees. Hojo again. Teddy Higuera. There's Mike Scott. There's a new card. Bob Welch. Shane Raleigh. Tim Purple Rains. There's a couple new cards there, a couple repeats. If any of you want any of these cards, let me know in the comments. I will figure out a way to get to them as long as you cover shipping. Andres Galarraga again. Oh, I got it right. Rick Russell again. Willie McGee again. There's a new one. Billy Hatcher. Rick Sutcliffe. Tom Hankey. All right, we ended that pack with some new players. I am not disappointed with these. Look at it. I've found a couple of sets recently that I've never seen, only because I wasn't into the hobby for a long time, but those Topps bigs were really cool too. And these are the equivalent to Topps smalls. Jack Clark, Darryl Strawberry, one of my favorite players as a kid. Love the 86 Mets. Todd Worrell, there's some new cards. Roger Clemens, another new card. Lou Whitaker, Ozzie Smith, Mike Dunn. Nice. So not too many repeats in that one. I bet you I could throw together... Well, I warned you. The camera was going to fall at least once. But we recovered. No need to panic. I don't understand why it falls. It's set up pretty securely. Okay, getting back to this now. Pedro Guerrero, Vince Coleman. He was a hot card. He must have started off, I know he broke a base stealing record like his rookie year, and had a couple good years after that, and I don't know what happened to him. Robin Yount, Roger McDowell, game piece. Dan Plesac, Dale Murphy, Darrell Evans. Very nice pack there. Not very many repeats there. Hopefully this trend continues. I see Ricky Reschel staring at me. Any big Rick Reschel fans, you pay me some shipping, I'll get you some cards. Nolan Ryan, Eric Davis, Carlton Fisk. I don't think we've seen that card yet. Is that Carlton Fisk, though? White Sox, it must be. Doesn't really look like him, though. Phil Bradley, Lee Smith, Alan Trammell. Very nice. Not too many repeats in there, except at the beginning. This is fun. All right. Well, we know this pack a little bit. Jimmy Key, Jose Canseco, Jeff Reardon, Andres Galarraga, Steve Bedrosian, Charlie Huff, Wade Boggs. I think every one of those was a repeat this time. I have no idea how many packs we got left, but there's a lot. It'd be interesting to know who we haven't seen yet. I can tell you one thing, we have seen Vince Coleman, though. Vince Coleman, Donnie Baseball, Don Mattingly, there's a good one. Mark McGwire, another good one. Danny Tartabull, he was a hot card, hot player, and then he kind of fell off. Fernando Valenzuela, Mike Schmidt, we've seen him before, and Earl Hershiser, that's a new card to us. It's freaking awesome. All right. And it's going to start off with Roger McDowell. We have seen him before. And we go right into Roger Clemens. We've seen that one before. Lou Whitaker. Ozzie Smith. Zane Smith. We haven't seen that one yet. Dave Parker. We haven't seen that one yet. And Tony Gwynn. Have we seen the Gwynn yet? I can't remember. I feel like we have. Oh, you guys recognize that guy on the back, I bet. Boy, if I know any Canseco fans, they're gonna get some cards. Let's see, now these are all flipped around. Might as well discard the game piece. Alright, Gary Redus. I don't think we've seen that card yet. Brett Saberhagen. I don't think we've seen that card yet. Paul Molitor. Haven't seen that card yet. Robin Yount. Haven't seen that card yet. Kevin Seisser we've seen. Jimmy Key we've seen. And Mr. Jose Canseco. We've seen plenty of him. Next pack, I'd say we got about 15 left of the 36. I think it's going to get tough to see anything that's not a repeat now. But we'll see. Nolan Ryan. Eric Davis. Carlton Fisk. I still don't think that looks like Carlton Fisk, but maybe it does. Pedro Guerrero, game piece. Dave Stewart. I don't think we've seen Dave Stewart yet. Harold Reynolds we've seen. And Doc Gooden we've seen. Very cool. Is that a Nolan right on the... Oh no, it's Mike Scott. Try not to damage these bad boys. Alright, Mike Scott. We've seen Mike Scott before. Jack Morris, though. We haven't seen his card yet. Nor Deion James. Frank Viola, we definitely have not seen. Game piece. We have seen Willie Wilson. We have seen Kirby Puckett, but you can't see enough Kirby Pucketts. Gary Redus. I don't think we've seen Gary Redus yet. Next pack. I see there's a Met on the top card. Mr. Roger McDowell. We've seen a few of him. He's always followed by Roger Clemens. Lou Whitaker, Ozzie Smith. There's a checklist. It's actually kind of a worthy checklist in this set. Mark Langston. Don't think we've seen Mark Langston yet. And Dwight Evans. Don't think we've seen Dwight Evans yet. As we get further and further into this, I see my video is going to run about 30 minutes. So let's see, who haven't we haven't seen Dave Winfield, we haven't seen Gary Carter. There's Lenny Dykstra, that's new. Kent Herbeck, that's new. John Kruk, that's new. We have seen Robin Yount. We've seen enough of these game cards. George Bell. Juan Samuel. Juan Samuel. And Andre Dawson. So a couple new cards to end that pack. Okay, it's time to speed up here. Tim Wallach, Dave Righetti, Mike Dunn, Ricky Henderson, Brett Saberhagen, Paul Molitor, Zane Smith. I think Zane Smith might be the only one we haven't seen there before, and I can't say that for certain. Jeff Reardon, Andres Galarraga, Rick Reschel, Nolan Ryan. Oh, this is great. I love Nolan Ryan cards, so I can't get enough of those. On one of my videos, I went to, I'll show in another video, Darrell Evans, Jack Clark, Darryl Strawberry. Nice. I went to a pawn shop to see if they had any trading cards, and they did, and I bought 3 sheets. Somebody had them in a binder, and I hate when I find cards in a binder because they're almost, somebody has thumbed through them and bent every edge card there is, and this was no exception. And they had a ton of Nolan Ryan cards, 70s Nolan Ryan cards into early 80s. And every outside card has a crease through it. Rick Sutcliffe, not sure if we've seen that one before. Tom Hinkie we have, and Dave Stewart. Yeah, I still bought them because there was so many. I bought the 3 sheets. There's probably a total of 12 Nolan Ryan cards, maybe a little bit more. And for 30 bucks, I probably overpaid a little bit, but a bunch of them are in pretty good shape. Edges, their corners are really nice. It's kind of a shame. One of them has a crease that's centered really well. Could have potentially Willie Randolph, Billy Hatcher to round off that pack. Could have had a potential to be a PSA 9 at least because it's centered, but that was one of the ones with a crease in it. Kind of makes me sick, and I kind of gave my 2 cents worth at the pawn shop. I'm like, hey, you know, make sure when people are thumbing through these that they don't bend the pages back, as the guy was bending the pages back that I was talking to. Dwayne Bousset, that's a new card. John Franco. Brian Downing, into that pack was pretty new. But all those Nolan Ryans, I couldn't pass them up. I think there's 5 different years, probably 6 different cards, and probably a total of 15 cards in all. There was a lot of repeats, in other words. I'll show those in some other video. And I'll also bring up cards that are new to us. Ivan Calderon, that's a new card to us. Dwayne Boots, I don't recognize him. Alright, about 8-9 packs left. It's gonna get hard to not see repeats soon. I should have left that checklist card off so to see what we're missing. Willie McGee, Kevin Seitzer, Jimmy Key, Jose Canseco. Boy, when I find that Canseco fan, they are going to be thrilled because I will nail these. Alan Trammell, Dan Plesac, Dale Murphy. After they quit doing wax packs, they went to super glue to keep these things shut. I swear to God. Okay, Mike Dunn, Ricky Henderson, Howard Johnson, Teddy Higuera. Didn't Teddy Higuera come into the major leagues later in life? Like he was 30 or something as a rookie. Phil Bradley, I don't remember that card yet today. And Mr. Lee Smith. So we have not seen George Brett yet. Was he? He was not retired by 87, was he? So these cards are 88. This will be 87 season. I feel like he played after that quite a bit. Robin Yount, Roger McDowell, another Roger Clemens, Lou Whitaker, Shane Rowley, I don't think we've seen that card. If we did, it was long right away when we first opened. Yvonne Calderon. Pete Rose would have been retired by now. This is 87. Was that the year he was a manager, or was that the year he got suspended indefinitely? Lenny Dykstra. Ken Herbeck. John Kruk. Another Darryl Strawberry. Todd Worrell. I don't remember that card. Bob Welch. Don't remember that card either. Let's pick up the pace here. All right. Pedro Guerrero, Vince Coleman, Don Mattingly, Mark McGwire again. We haven't seen many Mark McGwires. I think that's the second one. Dale Murphy. That's the third one, I think. It'd be fun to see some new stuff, some new faces at this point. I should have kept that checklist out. Rick Reschel, Nolan Ryan, Eric Davis, Carlton Fisk. That doesn't look like Carlton Fisk to me. Lee Smith, Alan Trammell, and Plesac. Had a couple good years with the Brewers. And I am willing to bet that we've seen every card now. Could be wrong. Deion James, Tim Wallach, Dave Rigetti, Tony Gwynn, Steve Bedrosian, and Charlie Huff. We got 4 cards left. 4 packs left. Holy mackerel. I'm getting in my own way. Okay. Blue Whitaker. Ozzie Smith. Mike Scott. Jack Morris. Paul Molitor. I love Paul Molitor's. A, because he was a Twin at the end of his career, and B, he's from Minnesota. He's a St. Paul boy. It's like Dave Winfield. I think they both finished their careers in Minnesota. No George Bretts, though. John Kruk. Robin Yount. Roger McDowell, always followed by Roger Clemens. That's a cool amount of Clemens cards, though. Kirby Puckett. Gary Redus, Brett Saberhagen. If you've watched any of my videos in the past, even though I live in Wisconsin, I am a Minnesota boy. I was the first one in my family born outside of Minnesota. So I'm kind of Minnesota through and through. That being said, whenever I see Kirby Puckett, who I was a huge fan of as a kid, I occasionally say Gary Puckett. And if you don't know who Gary Puckett is, he was a pop star, I guess, if you will, top 40 music in the 60s. And I occasionally say Gary Puckett instead of Kirby Puckett. And he was also from Minnesota. Mark Langston. Can't remember if we've seen that one before. Dwight Evans, Willie Wilson. We've definitely seen those. Last Pack Magic. There's that Carlton Fisk. That doesn't look like Carlton Fisk. Maybe because I always see him with catcher's gear on is why he doesn't look familiar. Pedro Guerrero. Vince Coleman, Don Mattingly, Juan Samuel, Andre Dawson. Ooh, and there's the checklist. I'll leave this on the frame here. Let's see if there's anybody we didn't get. That would be a shame. You know, and it kind of goes by team. As far as I can see, I think we got every card. And I think we got every card twice. Anyways, thanks for checking into my videos. I appreciate it. Know this is a long one, 30 minutes. Go ahead and subscribe if you like. Give this video a thumbs up. Leave a comment and share with your friends. And happy collecting.